Good morning. I'm Fred Ryan, Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation and Institute. 40 years ago, President Reagan addressed the annual convention of the National Parent-Teacher Association. "You know that good education does not begin in some faraway bureaucracy," he said. "It begins in your homes and neighborhood schools, where it's the responsibility of every parent and teacher and the right of every child." Today at the Reagan Institute, we know this too. That's why we are proud to begin the first day of the Reagan Institute Summit on Education, or RISE, virtually, so that we can include so many people all across the country. After all, the most important decisions about education aren't made here in Washington, D.C. They're made in homes, classrooms, school board meeting rooms, and state houses. So we value this opportunity to reach beyond Washington, and we welcome each and every one of you. Now, that 1983 speech to the National PTA was not just any speech. It came after the publication of A Nation at Risk, a report made directly to the American people. The nation was still feeling the aftershocks of that eye-opening report on the state of education in America. And 40 years later, we're still striving to fulfill its charge and marvel at how important it remains. A Nation at Risk called for the twin goals of equity and high-quality schooling as critical for our economy and society. These twin goals are not mutually exclusive, but if you listen to some of the current commentary on education, you would think that we only have two options: high-quality schools for some or mediocre schools for all. That is a false choice that President Reagan rejected. We can achieve these goals if we unburden our decisions on education from the limits of partisanship and ideology. This summit demonstrates that's possible. Democrats, Republicans, independents, educators and academics, leaders in business, government, and nonprofits, they're all here. And by working together, we can build the education system that America's future demands and that our children deserve. As President Reagan said 40 years ago, instead of worrying about whether we put together a Republican plan or a Democratic plan, can't we join together on a course of common sense for an American plan? So as we look at the nation's next horizon, it's our hope that the conversations that happen here at RISE will help us chart that course. Thank you for joining us.